Now, you also own a Maserati, sir?
That car was repossessed because I wasn't making the money. It was a car Lauren was driving. It was not my possession. It was my mother's possession. Lauren was driving it, but I just couldn't afford it anymore. So it was repoed.
But were you making the $900 a month payments on that Maserati?
Absolutely not. That's why it was repoed.
Is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
The state wanted to approach on a provision that was in a temporary order from October that this court signed. Mr. Stanley was ordered to participate in the Choices program, and that's what I wanted to address at this time.
You may proceed, Mr. Darkamangian.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Miss Christina Aaron, the Choices representative.
Okay.
Miss Aaron, please state your name and who you work for.
My name is Christina Aaron, and I work with Workforce Solutions.
And did your office get a hold of Mr. Stanley after he was ordered into the Choices program, ma'am?
I believe one time we talked to him.
I spoke to, I think his name was Kevin. I spoke to him a few times. Is Kevin his name?
Just 1 second, Mr. Stanley. This is Miss Aaron's time for questioning in just a minute.
My deepest
No, you're okay.
So
You're going to get your chance in just a second.
My apologies.
Go ahead, Mr. Darkamangian.
Your Honor, we have a person in the courtroom. Okay. Miss Aaron, can you summarize on how Mr. Stanley did in the Choices program?
Yes, it looks like I believe when he was ordered into the program, we spoke to him on that day back in October. I'm sorry, yes, October. And then we did contact him again in November, talk to him more about the program. And then after that, he failed to respond to any appointments.
Okay. Is he still in the program, ma'am?
I believe in the month of December, the caseworker has put in a request to move for failure to maintain weekly job search and contact with NCP Choices program.
So y'all are recommending that he would be removed from the program?
Correct.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Stanley, do you have any questions for Miss Aaron?
Not questions. No, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Tillman, do you have any questions for Miss Aaron?
No.
Okay. You may be excused, Miss Aaron.
Thank you.
You can call your next witness, Mr. Darkamangian.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stanley, now you were ordered to participate in the Choices program in a temporary orders. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And did you try to participate in the Choices program?
Yes, sir. I tried. Not much of an effort, I'll admit. My fault. However, I didn't find a necessity to participate in the program because I am employed. I don't make a whole heap of money, but I do have a job, and I am able to pay my child support with that, which proves that I haven't been late 1 month.
Okay, so you decided not to participate in the Choices program because you have a job.
No, I don't want that to be my statement on hand. No, sir. No, that is not. My statement I'd like to make is I didn't feel there was a need to continue the program because I do have full-time employment. That is the statement I'd like to make.
Okay, perfect. And who do you work for?
Bear Paw Painting.
How much do they pay you per hour?
Well, I own the company. I'm not paid per hour. I might make about $600-700 a month. A week, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, a week.
Okay, so this is your company?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anybody else working for you?
Yes, sir.
Who else works for you?
Well, they're not like 1099 employees, or I'm not even sure if that's the right term, but they're guys that I find at Home Depot that might help me with like demolition. If we've got a landscaping job, if we've got a job with like removing tile, mainly just demo, things like that. I get a lot of assistance with the guys over at Home Depot with that.
Okay. Were you doing this type of work back in October of last year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you file taxes
Did
for
not
twenty
last year.
twenty-three?
No, sir.
And you haven't filed taxes in 2024?
I have not for 2024. No, it's yes, I have not.
Okay. So you work based on a cash basis?
Mainly, most of it is cash because it's not. Yeah, I'd say most of it is cash. Some cash apps. I do get a few of those.
Okay. And how much did you make? How much did you make in December?
I can tell you. Give me 1 second. In the month of December, I made 1820. I'm sorry, I've got one more $50 payment. So 1870, $1,870, and that's from
Okay.
December 6th to the 31st. Yes, December 6th. Oh wait, shit. December 6th to December 31st.
Your Honor, past the witness.
Okay, Ms. Tillman, do you have any questions of Mr. Stanley?
Yes, I do have something to say. What
Okay.
he's saying is not correct.
Ms. Tillman,
Um,
Ms. Tillman, just 1 second.
yeah,
This is your opportunity to ask him questions only. In just a minute, I'll give you a chance to tell me what you want to say. Do you have any questions of Mr. Stanley?
no.
Okay, you may call your next witness, Mr. Darkamongian.
No more witnesses as to the choices issue, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is the state requesting right now, Mr. Darkamongian?
Your Honor, since he didn't follow the court's order, we're requesting that he participate in choices, where he can get a job where we can send out a wage withholding. That would be the ideal thing that we're requesting.
Okay. So, Mr. Stanley, when we were here in October, I placed you in choices to help you find a better job.
Yes, ma'am. It was my understanding that I'm sorry if I'm interrupting. My apologies.
So you weren't understanding the program at the time, or what's the hiccup? What's going on?
With all due respect, I was under the assumption that it was to get a job. I didn't know it was to get a better job or a higher paying job. I thought it was for employment itself.
Okay.
And my deepest apologies. And that's when I stated earlier that I was under the assumption that this program was to get me a job. And that's why I didn't continue to participate. I didn't know it was you guys were aware that I had a job, and I thought it was solely to pay child support.
So I wasn't aware that you had a job. So we were
Okay.
trying to put you in there to get you a job.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
now you're saying you already had a job.
I did then, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Darkamongian, I've already ordered him into the choices program. I can't order him in there again. If Mr. Stanley doesn't want to participate, I cannot force him to. So we probably need to have a hearing, I'm assuming. Do you want to talk to the parties some more, or are you ready to go forward?
Your Honor, I'd like to talk over with the parties to see if they would agree on some issues
Okay.
to
And Ms.
streamline the trial a little bit.
And Ms.
Can I
Tillman,
speak on something, please?
yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell me?
The job that he claims to have is, if you look on the Texas Comptroller, the business name is an LLC that is in my name, and I do not employ him. The bear paw painting that he stated
Okay.
is his employer. It's an LLC that I have in my name only, and I am stating that he's not employed by me.
Well, it sounds like he's using the name of the company.
Exactly, and that's
So that's,
not within his right because it's not
well,
his company.
I understand that completely. That's not before my courtroom. So you would have to do something separate and apart from that to get that resolved, Ms. Tillman.
I understand, but I'm just separating myself because he said that I'm his employer. I am not. And
Okay.
you can look the business up on the Texas Comptroller. It's in
Okay.
my name only.
Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do right now. I'm going to give the OAG a little bit more time to figure out what's they're gonna next step. So for now, let's do this. Mr. Stanley, I'm sending you to pop up to go to break room 44. And Miss Tillman, you're gonna go to break room 43. This is the Brazoria County docket for January the 23rd of 2025. Previously, Miss Tillman and Mr. Stanley, you were sworn in on the record. You are still under oath. Mr. Stanley, please state your name again for the record.
Joseph William Stanley II.
And Miss Tillman, your name again for the record.
Lauren Simone Tillman.
And who is present with the Office of the Attorney General?
Garabet Dickermangian.
Mr. Dakamangia, since the parties are already under oath, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, I would ask the court to take judicial notice of the original petition and suit affecting the parent-child relationship that was filed on April 15, 2024, and also take judicial notice of the temporary order that was signed by this court on October 17, 2024.
The court will take judicial notice of the Office of the Attorney General's original petition and suit affecting the parent-child relationship that was filed on April 15th of 2024. The court will also take judicial notice that a temporary orders hearing was held on October 15th of 2024, and a temporary order was signed by the court on October 17th of 2024.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, at this time, I would like to read into the record the parties' agreements and then state issues.
Okay, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the parties have agreed to, as in the temporary order, to be in the final to be the geographic being Brazoria and contiguous counties. That the pickup and drop off, as in the temporary order, be at the CVS in Rochelle, Texas. Parties have agreed to the permanent injunction that was in the temporary order that no marijuana use in the presence of the children. The parties have agreed a non-disclosure for Miss Tillman that her address should not be in this order. The parties have agreed to using app close. The parties have agreed that the children will be covered health and dental through governmental health plan, and that Mr. Stanley will continue as in temporary order, contribute $35 a month towards that. Oh, and that there are 2 children in this case, and then there's 3 children outside this case. And that whatever the court rules on as far as net, that 19% be applied, 2 and 3.
Okay.
And I believe that is the extent of the agreement, Your Honor. And I call Ms. Tillman first. Ms. Tillman, did you hear and understand the
And Mr. Just real quick, Mr. Dakamangian.
Yes, Your Honor.
I show that we're coming back today just to address retro, current child support, and court costs. Does that mean that all the other terms of the temporary order are the same?
No, let me clarify the issues, Your Honor. So the issues are going to be conservatorship, possession access, what Mr. Stanley's gross income is, any retro court costs, and any arrears.
Okay. We already had a hearing on conservatorship, and I made my ruling that it was joint.
Okay.
So if that needs to change, I just need to hear evidence of what, I don't want to hear evidence from before the last hearing. I want to hear evidence from the last hearing forward on why that should change.
I'll do it, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so right now, I just want to make sure I understand. You are going to be addressing conservatorship, visitation, current child support, retro, and court costs. Is that correct?
And any arrears that might have that's gotten from temporary
Okay.
order to present.
Okay, you may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Tillman, did you hear and understand the agreements I read into the record, ma'am?
Yes.
And are you agreed? Are you in agreement as to those agreements only?
Yes.
Okay. State briefly calls Mr. Stanley. Mr. Stanley, did you hear the agreements I read into the record?
Yes, sir, I did hear him, and I am in total agreement.
Of those agreements that I read into the record only?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State recalls Ms. Tillman. Ms.
Yeah.
Tillman, let's address the conservatorship, but only from the time of the temporary order to present. Has Mr. Stanley been helpful in making decisions regarding health and dental with the children?
No.
Okay. Has he been in communication with you through app close?
No.
Okay. Has anyone been in communication with you regarding through app close?
His girlfriend was for a short time period, and then all communication stopped.
So from the time of the temporary order to present, he hasn't helped with decision making regarding the kids. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been making all the decisions for the children?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now on the visitation, in the temporary order, it was a stay in possession order. Has dad visited with the children? Has he exercised the stay in possession order?
He has done a few visits. However, he has not followed the rules in terms of picking them up on the date and time. He's also come to their school at times where he is not on visitation.
Okay, so he has exercised his visitation rights, but not necessarily when it was his time to do so.
Yes, a few times when it was his time, but there are also instances where it was not his time, and he goes to their school on random days, and he's also not adhering to the times that and locations of where he needs to get them
Okay.
when he does exercise. For instance, the order states that he's supposed to get them from school on the weekends that he has them, and he does not follow that, nor have we met at CVS to exchange the children. There has been some instances where he will get them like partially, and so it's not being followed.
And Ms. Tillman, I need to clarify a few things. Are you showing up at the CVS and Mr. Stanley is not?
That has happened on a couple of occasions, yes.
Okay. Now, you just said that Mr. Stanley is getting the children not at the C. How is he picking up the children from you if not at the CVS?
I have had to bring them to his home before. Yeah, that's basically it. I've also he's not communicating on the app close of his intentions to get the kids on by the time period or at all sometimes. What he tries to do is talk to them on their iPads and make plans with them, the kids, but not me, because he doesn't speak to me at all.
And how old are your children?
They are 6 and 7.
Okay.
I believe they are too young to make plans or to adhere to plans. Because they're not adults or they don't have transportation or anything of their own.
You may continue, Mr. Darkomonjian.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, to the best of your knowledge, do the kids have a good time with Dad when he is visiting with them?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they would like to come home. He oftentimes leaves them in the care of other people. There has been a few instances where the children have called me and said that they are hungry, and I've had to send food to his house or order pizzas for them and things like that because he's not home and apparently sometimes does not have food for them at his home.
Okay. Now, when was the last time y'all lived under the same household?
It was in July 5th of 2023 was when I moved out of the home.
Okay. And child support in this case began November 1, 2024, right?
Yes.
And you're requesting that he pay retroactive from that July 2023 to October 31, 2024, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's 6 months in 2023 and 10 months in 2024.
Yes.
Okay. Now, has he given you any monies for the support of the children during that period of time?
During what period of time?
From the point you moved out in July of 2023 to October of 2024, during that period of time, has he given you any support for the children?
No, he has paid for some clothes or shoes for them. However, actual money to help with things like childcare and things like that, no.
Well, how much if you were going to put a dollar amount, how much would that be for the shoes and the clothes that he's paid?
Maybe around $1,000 or $1,200 for that 18th month time period.
Okay. Now, when you did live with him, how long did you live with him?
I lived with him since 2014.
Okay. And how long of a period is that, ma'am?
It's 9 years.
9 years. Now, what kind of job did he do during this time?
He was a contractor. He worked as a general contractor.
Okay. And
he made enough money to support our whole household. I was a stay-at-home mother.
now, did y'all live in a house?
We did live in a house, yes.
Does he still live in that same house?
Yes.
How big of a house is it?
It's around 2,900 or 3,000 square feet. It is 2 stories.
Okay. And is there a note on the house? Is there a mortgage on the house?
There is a mortgage. It's at the time when I was there, it would vary, but it'd be around 2,800 to 3,000 a month.
And who would make those payments per month?
He would.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, is there still a mortgage on that home?
Yes.
Was there a mortgage on a home when you left in July of 2023?
Yes.
And was he making those mortgage amounts?
Yes.
Okay. What other bills that did he have that he was making from July 2023?
Yes. There was a Maserati car payment that was around $900 a month. There's also a payment for his pickup truck that I believe was around $600 to $700 a month. As well as our electricity, our cable, our internet, and of course, you know, all of those utility bills, our cell phone bills, that was around $400 or $500 a month.
How much was the internet?
Well, the internet with cable and everything was together, and that was about $400 a month also.
And the electricity?
Electricity was around $300 a month. My children were also in private school, and that was $1,900 a month for the both of them together.
And he was making all these payments.
Yes.
Now, there was an incident a couple weeks ago during the pickup and drop off of the child. Isn't that true?
Well, he came to my home to bring them a Christmas gift, yes. But they were
And
the kids were in my possession. They were with me.
okay. And was he able to drop off the gifts for the kids?
He was, and as he was leaving, he was kicking my rental vehicle. He did not speak to me as he was leaving from placing the item in my garage. He left as he walked past my car. He started kicking and denting a rental vehicle that I had.
Okay. And did you call the police?
I did call the police.
What did they say?
They suggested that I file a protective order. This was done in front of my children, and my children are scared. And
when you filed the protective order, was it granted?
it was not. The judge suggested that I file something about trespassing with the police. So
Okay,
they
so it was denied.
referred me back to the police. Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Stanley, do you have any questions for Ms. Tillman based on her testimony?
Whatsoever.
Okay. So, Ms. Tillman, are you showing up at the CVS and then Mr. Stanley is saying, I'm not there, come bring the kids to my house or things of that nature?
Most of the time there's not communication. I have showed up and no one has showed up, but I have no way of contacting him. Besides the app close, which the messages go unanswered.
Okay.
The instances where I was bringing the kids to his home, he would communicate that through their iPads. And the reason that I followed through with that, obviously, this is kind of a touchy subject for me, but the kids would be disappointed that if I was to say, no, I can't bring you, they would cry about it and things like that, because he would sometimes go to their school on days of non-visitation that he had visitation and go to their lunch and make plans with them. And I would have to tell them, like, yeah, the plans need to be made with adults. You know, I would explain to them, kids can't make plans. Your dad needs to reach out to me, you know, for us to do things the correct way. But there was a few times where I did end up just bringing them to his house
Okay.
because it's a bit of an issue with them having like the disappointment and things with the lack of follow through.
Mr. Darkamangian, do you have any other witnesses you'd like to call?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call Mr. Stanley.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Stanley, were you able to communicate using app close with the mom, with Miss Tillman?
Yes, sir. Initially, we were able to use it. At that time, I had a fiance. Her and I have since separated. We're still cool, but we're not together anymore. So I'm not using the app at all anymore. Lauren and I, which she, I guess, fails to communicate to you guys, but we go through these bits where we're able to communicate really well. And so Lauren and I can text each other, and that's how I was getting the kids. I'm sure the judge wants to know how was I able to get the kids if there was no communication. Lauren and I were able to text. She got upset. Maybe Chris, I'm sorry, were you saying something, sir?
Yeah, Judge, objection and non-responsive.
Mr. Stanley, just listen to the question.
My apologies.
That's okay. Go ahead, Mr. Darkamangian.
Thank you. Mr. Stanley, were you able to make decisions with Ms. Tillman, important decisions regarding the welfare of your children? Were you able to use the app to make decisions with mom?
The answer to that question is no. We did it via text.
Okay. What kind of decisions were you making through text?
Any decisions when it came to the kids, as far as me picking them up, me taking them to sporting events, me buying them Christmas gifts, me sending money for food, additional money for food, anything that we had to discuss that regarded the kids. From my understanding, what was that, November, October? Bray had a nose surgery. I don't know if that was in October or November, but we texted via text for that. She gave me the address and the time to appear. We do really great for a week or two, and then communication goes bad. But yes.
Okay, so you're doing your best to try to be helpful and helping mom with these important decisions regarding your children, right?
100%, yes, sir.
Okay, and sir, have you exercised your standard possession rights with the children?
Well, that's an open-ended question. I mean, I like to be as short as possible, but these questions just don't require yes or no answers. Yes, I have, when I'm allowed to. In the very beginning, I didn't really understand where else to pick the kids up from. So I sent in the text in the app, "Hey, Lauren, I'm here at CBS at 6 o'clock." I didn't know until Lauren and I started texting via text message that I wasn't supposed to get the kid, which isn't her fault. Don't get me wrong, it's not her fault. But I didn't know I was supposed to pick the kids up from school. I thought I was to get them at CBS. So the first maybe month, I was trying to get the kids through the CBS. During that time, Lauren and I, we were able to talk again. So there was no need to meet at CBS. She'd drive right past the house, drop them off. I get them. I take them right back to her house. That worked the best for us for a few weeks up until maybe, I guess, Christmas Eve.
So y'all were changing the drop off and the pickup. Your testimony is y'all mutually agreed to change it up for a time.
Absolutely. Yeah, there were even times when Lauren had to go to work and she'd be like, "Hey, it wasn't my time to get the kids," but she's like, "Hey, I got to go to work. The kids can't sit in the car for that long." Okay, great. I'll get them. I mean, we had great communication up until Christmas Eve.
Okay. When was the last time you visited with the children?
Days after Christmas. I'll tell you. Give me a second. I'm looking at my calendar. If you give me 1 minute, I'll tell you. The last time I had the kids was Christmas. So 1, 2. It was the New Year's Eve. No, I'm sorry, the 30th of New Year's. No. It was December 30th.
Okay,
No, I'm sorry. I've seen them since then. I saw them at their school. I typically go and eat lunch with the kids. Do you mean that day or at my home?
Just the last time you visited. If it's at school, it's at school.
Okay, well, the last time I saw the kids was on January 7th.
Okay, and what did y'all do?
We ate pizza at the school. We talked. It's only like a 30-minute visit, so we just sit and eat pizza and talk about. Well, Gray's really into sports, so he wants to talk about sports, and Mars just talks about everything. So we just talk. It was a great visit. They love when I come to their school and bring them food.
Okay. And now the judge ruled joint managing conservatorship in a temporary order and also ruled the stand of possession order in a temporary order. And you want to continue with that. You want to make that final, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now on your now you testified on earlier that you in December you made $1,870, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now and you also testified you typically make $600 to $700 a week.
Yes, sir. Around or about. Sometimes it's 7 or 8, but yeah.
Okay. And you're you classify yourself as a handyman, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've been doing this a long time. How long have you been doing this?
Professionally, I'd say since our oldest son was born, so I'd say about 7 years, almost 8. He'll be 8 in February, so 8 years.
Okay. Now, sir, do you live in a home right now?
Yes, I do. That's currently in foreclosure.
Okay. And how much is the mortgage on that house?
Before it went into foreclosure, it was $2,700 a month.
$2,700 a month. And when did it go into foreclosure?
Well, I'm currently trying to get a repayment program, but it's been in active foreclosure since is it October, November, December? It was in active foreclosure before November. Then I got put into a repayment program, and prior to that, so I'd say probably March of 2023.
Okay.
March of 2023.
Now, do you own a Maserati, sir?
That's 2024, not 23.
Okay, March of 2020.
Yes, sir, not 2023. It has not been a year.
So March of 2024.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you also own a Maserati, sir?
That car was repossessed because I wasn't making the money. It was a car Lauren was driving. It was not my possession. It was my mother's possession. Lauren was driving it, but I just couldn't afford it anymore. So it was repoed.
But were you making the $900 a month payments on that Maserati?
Absolutely not. That's why I was repoed.
Before it was repoed, were you making $900 a month payments?
No, sir. My mother did. It was in her name.
Do you also own a truck?
Yes, the truck is in my name, which is currently in repossession status as well.
And how much do you how much is that note?
$700.
$700 a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how much is your electricity payments per month at the house?
I'll tell you. Give me 1 second. I just got to be. Hold on 1 second. Center point. Oh, here it is. Center point energy. 149.20.
Okay. And do you have internet?
I do.
How much do you pay that a month?
I just have internet, so it's 130.
How much do you pay for your cell phone?
I'm on my daughter's plan. She pays it. Not sure what the note is. It's her trade-off for living with me.
Now, when Miss Tillman and the boy and the kids lived in your household, were they going to private school?
That was some time ago. They've been in public school for almost 3 years now. But yes, they were at one point.
And Were you paying $1,900 a month towards that?
Never. No, sir. I never paid $1,900 a month for private school.
How much do you believe you were paying?
At the extreme, most $1,000. I really don't know because at that point, Lauren was in charge of the finances. I don't know, and we still fell behind. That's why they're in private school. I wasn't able to afford whatever it was.
Okay. Now, during the retro period from July of 2023 to October 2024, did you give any monies to Ms. Tillman for the support of the kids?
I've given Lauren money up until, to answer your question, yes, but I've given Lauren money up until maybe December 23rd when she needed $100 for gas. So to
And if
answer
you
your question, I've never stopped giving Lauren money.
during that retro period, if you were going to put a dollar amount, how much would you say you gave her?
I'd say on average about $350 a month. I can actually go back and tell you, like, if I look at my Apple Wallet, before child support, yeah, I was giving her about $400 a month.
So the 6 months in 2023 and the 10 months in 2024, you're saying you gave her $400 a month for the support of the children.
At minimum, yes, sir. At minimum. I hope, again, if I could pull up this list, I could tell you exactly how much it was. Sent or received. So the last time I sent her money was December 21st. The time before that, December 12th. The time before that, December 9th.
How much money did you send her on the 21st?
The 21st was $100.
How much did you send her on the 12th?
It was the 9th. And on the 9th, it was 30 books.
Okay, and Mr. Stanley, I don't know if you cut out or not. Did you say nothing on the 12th of December?
Yeah, it wasn't the 12th, it was the 11th actually, and that was 100 bucks.
Okay, so I'm hearing 100 on December 21st, 100 on December the 11th.
Yep.
And then you said December the 9th?
Yep.
How much did you send her on December the 9th?
30 bucks.
Okay, what about for November?
I'll tell you 1 second. On 11/22 it was 100 bucks.
Any other dates?
11/09 is 150 bucks. That's it for November.
What about October?
October, nothing in October. I didn't send her any. Well, I didn't send her any money via. I don't think we were talking in October, so I didn't send her any money. Anytime I send her money, it's usually through Cash App. I don't usually do Zelle.
Okay, do you show anything from September?
No payments in September.
What about August?
No payments in August.
Okay, July?
Oh yeah. So there's a lot in July.
Okay, you want to add them up for me?
$1,760.
Okay, what about we're gonna do this for every month until we get back to July of 2023, sir. So keep going. What you got
Okay,
for June of 2024?
500.
Okay, May,
One payment of 400.
April of 2024,
300.
March,
That's her birthday month, so I sent her. I'll tell you. $400 on the actual birthday. So March 5th, $400.
and was that a birthday gift or was that for the boys?
It was definitely for the boys because it says sent for activities for the day. So yeah, I sent it for the boys.
Okay, what about February of 24?
February. February. 300.
Okay, January of 2024.
500.
Okay, December of 23.
December 23rd. It just shows me November and December.
Okay,
So November. 400.
okay,
Oh wait, I'm sorry. 500 for November. And in December of 2023. It's a lot. Let me calculate it. 1 second. 580. 580.
now, in December of 23, when you sent her 580, was any of that for Christmas gifts?
No.
Okay, let's go back to July of 24. When you said you sent her 1760.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to get back there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Why that month did you send her more than you normally do of $300 to $400?
Well, I got a really big contract that month. I was painting. Oh, I remember exactly what happened that month. Well, I was painting a house. I got a really big contract to paint a house over in Champions Forest. And so, again, I knew she needed the help. I don't know why I'm being painted as a guy who don't support his kids. The biggest issue I had was just I didn't have time because I worked so much. But she needed the money, so I sent it. She's got like, it just says random money, like bounce. Bounce is a kid's playhouse. I'm not sure you're familiar with that or not.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions, Mr. Darkamanjian?
Your Honor, let me check. No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, sir. Tell me what happened at Christmas. What happened at her house? In your words.
Okay, so it started out a beautiful day. I was at the house with a friend of mine because I'm a single male and I can do that. So we get a random ring at the doorbell at about 11 o'clock. It's the kids. They're knocking on the door. They're like, "Hey, Dad, can you bring the TV to our mom's house?" Okay, fine. Nope, no. Well, actually, I'm like, well, why can't we put it in the back of her car? I bought the TV for Christmas because they needed a TV for their room. Again, at no point in my life have I ever been a deadbeat dad, but that's what she likes to call me. So she called, I drive right around the corner to bring the TV over. As I'm there, she's, which is the reason why I don't want to talk to her. She belittles me at every second she gets.
So what
She
happened?
called me.
So what happened
I'm
that day?
telling you, she started belittling me as I'm putting the TV in her house. I didn't say a word to her. I put the TV down, got back in my truck, and went away.
And you
Nothing
didn't kick her rental car at all?
Did not. I didn't know she had a rental car.
Okay. Where did the police ever contact you?
I've never been contacted by the police.
Okay.
As a matter, well, I mean, it really makes no difference. But I have a police officer that lives next door to me. He never came to me and asked me anything. No one ever asked me anything.
Okay.
It's like the situation when I supposedly kicked in a mother's door and smacked her up. I've never been approached to police about any of that.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Stanley, you said that your house was in foreclosure, but they put you on a repayment plan, correct?
It's not official. It's based on if I can pay. I hope they give me a payment plan that I can pay, but it's based on payments. And I'm sorry, it's based on income. It's not official. As of
Okay.
now, it's still in foreclosure.
Have they given you any idea of how much they're going to charge you for your new payment plan?
Not yet. I'm waiting to get an answer on that sometimes this week.
Okay. When's the last time that you made a payment toward your mortgage?
2024 March of 2024.
Okay. The vehicle that you have right now, your truck, what kind of vehicle is it?
A Ford F-150,
And what year is it?
2018.
And it's for sure in foreclosure?
Repossession status 100%.
When's the last time you made a payment on your
It's
truck?
been. I made a $1,000 payment in, what month is this? Probably October.
And
Maybe before then.
right now you're living alone?
Yes.
But
My
your
daughter
daughter,
and
okay, and how old is your daughter?
I, 22.
And so she pays your cell phone as a benefit for living there. Is there any other bills that she pays?
Not the only bill she pays, just me.
Okay. Now, in the temporary order, sir, your gross wages were set at $2,500 a month, which set, and that giving you credit for 3 other children, that set your child support at $406 a month. Are you asking for that to be increased or decreased?
No, I can comfortably make those payments, and I've shown that by making the payments. The last one, I'm not sure why it hasn't posted yet, but I have a confirmation number if you like it.
And Mr. Darkamangian, is Mr. Stanley making his payments every month?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, uh, uh, I wanted to offer State's Exhibit 1, which is the arrearage.
You may, Mr. Stanley, do you have any objection to your pay record being offered into evidence?
No, not at all.
Ms. Tillman, do you have any objection to the pay record being offered into evidence?
No.
Okay. It'll be admitted, Mr. Darkamangian. You can share your screen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as the pay record clearly shows that Mr. Stanley is making payments. In fact, as of yesterday, his child support arrearages is 388 as of yesterday. 388 for child support, and we'd ask that we take a judgment of 388 as of yesterday. I don't know what is today or tomorrow. And in medical support, we ask that we take a judgment of $35 as of yesterday.
Is there anything else you want to tell me before I make my ruling in this case, Mr. Stanley?
No, ma'am, I don't. Well, honestly, no, I have no objections to anything. I'm not upset about anything. No, no, ma'am.
Ms. Tillman, Mr. Stanley went through his Cash App and indicated a number of payments that he sent you.
It's Apple Pay. My apologies. It's Apple Cash.
Okay, Apple Pay.
My apologies.
That's okay, sir. Ms. Tillman, was that an accurate statement of when he had sent you payments?
Some was accurate, some was not. I think that it doesn't, not all of it matches my records.
So you're saying that there's some months he said he sent you payment that you show you didn't get anything?
Yes, and some of those amounts are not matching the amounts that my records have.
Okay. He also said that in November he sent you $250. Is that accurate?
Let me check. No, my records show that I received $100.
Okay. How much do you show that you received in December?
$200.
Okay. Okay. Now, Ms. Tillman, you're asking for a sole managing conservatorship. You don't want Mr. Stanley to have the ability to make decisions for your children?
No, as he does not make decisions for them.
Okay, so when the
Now.
children, I just want to make sure I clarify, Ms. Tillman. So when the children are with him, he can't take them to the doctor, he can't take them to the emergency room, he can't make decisions for them. That's what you're asking for.
Well, of course, if they need medical need, yes, I would want him to make that decision.
And why do you feel that he cannot make day-to-day decisions for your children?
Honestly, ma'am, he has a mental illness, and his behaviors, his unpredictable and sometimes erratic behaviors are negatively affecting my children. They have witnessed things and mental instability, and they are actually they're in therapy now because of it. It has affected their routine as well as like some self-esteem things. And it's honestly it's been hard because their dad disappears from them often, and then sometimes when they are together, I guess he leaves them with other people, and they're not always fully comfortable with those people. Yes, that's
Okay.
basically it. And as I stated, they have witnessed violence against me in front of them, which makes them fearful sometimes.
And what do you want changed about the visitation?
I would like supervised visitation. I would like him to not be able to just come to their school anytime that he wants, because one of my sons has 3 learning disabilities, and oftentimes the days that he does show up at their school, I get a note from the teacher stating that my son is having trouble focusing and doing the things that he needs to do in class.
Okay, well, okay. And are you willing to supervise all the visits?
Myself,
Yes, ma'am.
no, I don't feel safe around him.
Who would you like to supervise the visits?
I'm not sure. I've never been in this situation, so I don't know what you all suggest or what's common practice.
Normally, one of the parties supervises, or their parent or their relative. There isn't anywhere in Brazoria where there is supervised visits that can take place at a facility. So
Okay.
I guess in order to order supervised visits, Ms. Tillman, I need you to tell me how Mr. Stanley has put your children in harm's way. Has he threatened them? Has he taken them out of school? Has he done anything to harm them?
To harm them, yes, as I stated, they have witnessed violence against me, and they're fearful of their dad. My kids wish that he did not know where we lived because they get nervous that he will show up and cause harm as he has done in the past.
Ms. Tillman, do you plan on moving in the future?
I would like to, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but financially, I can't do that right
And what are you asking that he pay in regards to child support?
now. I would hope for $600. That would at least be able to pay for their childcare after school so that I can work better hours. Because right now I'm always having to get them by 3 o'clock, and it's 3:30, and it's very hard for me to find other employment that allows me to leave that early, as well as bring them to school at 8.
And do you feel he has the income to pay $600 a month?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
Mr. Darkamangian, what is the state requesting in regards to retro? Or how much is it? How much is retro from July of 2023 to October of 2024? If you use if he's been doing the same job and you use the child support of $406 a month, is that what with that times 16 months, are y'all asking for $6,496?
406 times 16, that's $6,496. Minus minus any credit that the court rules on.
Okay, Mr. Stanley, Miss Tillman. Here's the problem I'm having. I ordered a number of things in the last court order and they weren't followed. So I can't do anything about the order not being followed. All I can do is tell you what I'm going to order today. I don't like the fact that y'all have not been using app close. Mr. Stanley, you did talk about the fact that y'all do well by text messages for about a week and then it goes away. Not good enough. Y'all are going to have to start using app close. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm going to order that there be a geographical restriction to Brazoria, that pickup and drop off will be at the CVS in Rochelle as previously ordered. There is a non-disclosure for Ms. Tillman. Ms. Tillman, if you decide to move in the future, you do not have to let Mr. Stanley know where you live. You're both enjoined from using marijuana in the children's presence. Like I said, you will be using app close to communicate in the future. I'm giving Mr. Stanley credit for 3 other children under the age of 18. Medical support will be set at $35 a month beginning February 1st of 2025 with government health insurance. I am going to order that gross wages, we're going to use the amount from the temporary order of $2,500. So child support will be set at $402 a month. That will begin February 1st of 2025 with a step up to $428 a month. In regards to the visitation, you know, honestly, guys, from what I'm hearing, there is miscommunication between the 2 of you. And I think if y'all could just refrain from communicating other than on app close, that things will be so much better.
100.
No more going over to each other's houses. You need to follow the pickup and drop off that I'm putting in. So for now, I'm going to keep the standard possession order. But I am going to order a sole managing conservatorship based on the testimony. Pick up and drop off continue at the CVS in Rochelle. Court costs will be assessed against Mr. Stanley, but he's going to have until January 23rd of 2026 to pay those off. In regards to the retro.
Will I have an opportunity to ask you a question?
Yeah, just a moment, sir.
Okay, no.
I am going to give Mr. Stanley credit for $2,000 payments. So the retro will be $4,496. And he is ordered to, that's going to be as of yesterday's date. Since Mr. Darkomanjian, he gave monies in November and December to Miss Tillman. His child support arrears are 0 as of yesterday's date, plus the retro of $4,496. So that will be paid at $70 a month beginning February 1st. There will be a $35 medical support judgment, which he can pay at $5 a month beginning February 1st. There is no retroactive medical or dental. That will be the ruling of the court, and there will be a non-disclosure for Ms. Tillman.
Your Honor, just to be clear on the child support, you did say, well, gross $2,500, $35 towards the Medicaid, 2 kids in this case, 3 kids outside this case. The multi-family child support amount is $407 a month.
Okay, then it'll be 407, not 406.
And then you wanted us an up on that.
Well, in the temporary order, there's a step up to 428. What would you have the step to be, Mr. Darkomanjian, with your numbers? Mr. Stanley, your three other children that are under 18, what are their ages?
The twins, they're 11, and my 13-year-old daughter.
Okay. So when the oldest child emancipates, Mr. Darkamangian, he shouldn't have any other children under the age of 18. So what would that
Right.
step up be?
So it'd be 2 kids in this case, and
So whenever the oldest child in this case emancipates, there should be 1 child before the court, no other children under the age of 18. What would that amount of child support be? Are you having trouble, Mr. Darkamangian?
yeah.
Okay,
Let's see.
so when you're looking at your screen that tells you how to calculate support,
Mhm.
put 1 child before the court and no other under the age of 18 with a gross of 2,500 and a medical of 35.
429, Your Honor.
429. Okay,
And I'm sorry, I went.
that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Mr. Stanley, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Ms. Tillman, do you have any questions?
I do, for the days or the times that he's supposed to, I just want to make this clear, or have a clear understanding. On the weekends that he's supposed to get them, if they are in school that day, that Friday, he's supposed to pick them up from school, not CVS, correct?
That is correct.
And then
So
he is supposed to bring them to school on Monday morning, correct?
that is correct. So
Okay, and
the only time you have to meet and drop off is at the CVS is when it's not a school week.
okay, and then my other question is he's still to notify me 24 hours in advance on app close, is that correct?
Yes, I'll go ahead and we'll include in there that he is to give you 24-hour notice of intent to visit through app close, okay?
Okay, and in the event that he tells me the day of or something like that, or not in 24 hours, am I out of compliance with the order if I,
Yeah, if he hasn't given you notice within 24 hours, you don't have to show up for visitation,
okay,
okay? So this is what I'm gonna have you guys do right now. I'm gonna send you a pop-up to go back to a breakout room. Mr. Darkamangian is gonna see if y'all have any additional questions. He may draft an order and have you sign it, or did you want an entry date, Mr. Darkamangian?
No, Your Honor, I can do this. I could put this one together.
Okay, Ms. Tillman, you're gonna get a pop-up to go to break room 42.
okay,
No
I do
question.
have another question as well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead and ask it. Mr. Darkamangian may have to answer it, but go ahead and ask it.
It's regarding him coming to the schools on non-visitation days. Is that allowed or?
You are gonna have to work that out with the school. That is not something, I cannot put in the order that he can't go to the school and visit with them.
I could speak with them, Your Honor.
So let Mr. Darkamangian talk to you, Ms. Tillman. Maybe he can clear that up for you, okay?
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna send you to break room 42. You're gonna get a pop-up right now. And Mr. Stanley, you're gonna get a pop-up to go to break room 43.